Hey, what's up, dudes? I gotta get these baits out. They're pretty beautiful. AJ, what's up, dude? I was supposed to go clear coat them last night after I got the bean down, but she was kind of tough to get to sleep, so she didn't go to bed till like 8:45. And then after she went to bed, completely forgot I was supposed to come back up here and clear coat these. So I got up here early this morning, clear coated them, and I'm crossing my fingers that they are cured enough to put them in the mail. It should be okay. I mean, I could probably dick them up if I tried, but I think wrapping them up in some tissue paper, calling them good, I think they will be okay to fly. Um, Kyle, what's up? Just picked up new hats. I haven't looked, Burns. Let me. I saw that message you sent me. I just haven't opened it yet. I've been getting blasted left and right. Trying to get these damn things done. Phone's been ringing off the hook. Typical Tuesday. Typical Tuesday. Except it's not. I think that's the issue with when you work on your own. People automatically assume that you have jack shit to do and you're like available all the time, like in the middle of the day. This is called Hall Special. I don't even know if Hall damn throws this thing. But it's pretty luscious. Burns, were these Norman crankbaits? When Norman did their wood run, because they had the big stupid eyes on the side of them. You can see right in front of my dot, those the circle right here. That was the original eyes that are stuck under the clear coat, and they're like sticky eyes. But they look way better with Bagley eyes. I wonder who started that. I wonder who the originator of the cartoon Bagley style eyes were. Like, who was the first person to do it well? That would be interesting. I agree, Burns. All wood baits need dotted eyes. And for some reason, back in my younger dumb days, I thought the opposite. I thought I would put realistic looking paint jobs on baits and then put 3D eyes on it, and it would somehow make the bait look more real. When in fact, it just made it look stupid. So I quit. I quit with that. But I had to get it out of my system. I had to learn the hard way that you cannot make a beautiful, simple, sleek wood bait design look better with 3D eyes. I think Waterwood has proven that. Did they make a wood bait besides the Tennessee Killer? I don't know, Morgan. I think that's the only one that I know of that they made. Would dotted eyes look good? No, I don't think they'd look good on my gill or a Tato. That would be pretty atrocious. Um, but if you shaved all the detail off, maybe. If you made it like a Roman maid and just got rid of all the gill plates and did it like that, it'd probably look cool. Marty, you watched the MLF on Clark's Hill. A little slow today. I didn't know they were even up there. Did not know they were even up there. Let's see if I can arrange 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 plugs in this box. A little wrappy in there. Won't bounce around too much. A little tapey here. Okay, that should be good. Another piece just for sport. Okay, one right here, one right here. Where's my label? All right, UPS, it's up to you now. Next day air. See if this will make it to Texas. Let's see if it can make it to Texas. Okay, that's ready to roll. For Gile. You think those would make old Ed smile in his grave? I would hope so. I would hope so. I hate I didn't get to meet old Ed. He was on my list of bucket list of people I wanted to meet. Your flea shad blank is lost in the mail. What is a flea shad? It's the JV squad. Oh, it's the minor league tour. Oh, no wonder I didn't know. Anthony, what's up? Bob, what's up? What went on the Smallmouth Crush podcast last night, or the Smallmouth Crush live? I missed it. I tuned in at the end, and it was a black screen. Ed rolls over in his grave when he looks at AJ's dotted eyes. Anthony, I kept trying to find. Like after you said that, I kept scrolling back, and I saw the lights flickering, but I never could find mentioning of ghosts. So I just quit looking. Were ghosts mentioned? I gotta take my trash out. It's got a banana peel in it. I would like to have painted with old Edward Chambers. Looking at his baits, I'd like to have watched his technique. Your buddy Kyle, Brendan. How are you buddies with everybody, dude? You can't be buddies with everybody. Everyone stays around 11 to 13 pounds of scoping. The large jaws are coming up with the stained water. So does that mean spinnerbaits and swim jigs and crankbaits are going to prevail? AJ, what's that face mean? Is that in response to the eyeballs? The next bait AJ does, his eyes are going to be this damn big. It's going to take up the whole bait. Find my acquaintance. What qualifies as a friend? Do you have to time? I don't think you have to know. I don't think you have to have met them in person. I feel like I've made friends over the internet that I've never met. Hello, what's up, dude? Eric approved eyes. The bigger the better. The bigger the better. I used to do some pretty monumental eyes back in the day. I would do the bigger the dot, the better. If I could have dotted them with a damn water bottle, I would have. Ooh, Casey, that actually sounds kind of interesting now. Hey, Jerry, are you painting today? What do y'all think of this little hybrid hunter? It's supposed to be resembling that Elegy Bone Megabass color. I didn't have that skeleton stencil to paint down the middle, so I just put a couple bars. Good enough. And the bait wasn't transparent to begin with, so that's what I started with. Should get a man some bites. We'll see. We shall see. Look at that. Look at that little nugget. Yeah, that's the junior. Correct, Morgan. If I have an oversized pupil, you know I dicked up the pupil and had to go a bit size higher. Nasty Nate, what's up? AJ, why are you neglecting a BGC, dude? Those are as good as it gets in the swim bait painting world. If it's a blank, if you're having to paint over somebody else's mess, then I could understand you neglecting it. But if it's a blank, man, I would be salivating over painting a BGC. Burns, I have a smaller one. I have the mini one. Has anybody seen that one? I sold that. Yeah, I used to sell that one. Where is it? I might have put it in my box. I think I was fishing with it. Where is that thing? Hold on. Where is that damn bait? The mini MOBA. Yeah. I'm frozen? So yeah, it is. It is similar. Yours is a little taller, not as narrow, but let's see. Yours is a little shorter, a little taller. I like yours though. I like the Burnsy. good, Nasty Nate. This one's seen a little action. It might be me. Yeah, I think Morgan, it was the 3-pack of reds. But yeah, if you're getting freezing, it's probably me. Could be me. It's probably my dad in the other room watching 16 YouTube videos. Nate, that was an old drop, dude. That was like last year sometime. There was a yeah, because there was one that had the crackle on the top. Let's see. I'll show you a picture. They're on the gram. Let's see here. Let's see if I can go back and figure out which date they were served on. What time of year I served those up? Here they are. Perfect time of year, March 10th, 2022. That one. That one, the foil, which was very rare. I don't know what got into me. That one. And the Coleman crawl. Yeah, those were March. What is this shit they show me on Instagram now, dude? Like every time I open Instagram, it's like some meme page that just puts out like some chick with gigantic boobs, like flopping them around everywhere. They're all like troll pages now. Dustin, it does come through Grasswell. I'll tell you what other bait. The one I'm about to paint is the one that comes through Grasswell for no apparent reason. Is this one the one I'm going to drop this week? This little guy comes through grass real well, and I don't know why. Like it just does, because I tested it in a grass pond, and it just came. It kept coming back with no grass on it. And I was like, Nate, that's unfortunate. Those were the shit, and I did foil them. So your Instagram could have worse things. I mean, it could, but it's just you're sitting around with your kid, and you pull up Instagram, and they're like, "What's that, Dad?" Like, I don't know. It's supposed to be some funny page. It's like animal funny memes handle. That was you on Instagram. I thought I was special. No. I think TK did a 10 p.m. drop on those. Could have. Could have. But the last time I threw that one, that little the mini mubba, I was fishing like a 2-foot flat that was like scattered grass. It was perfect because I could hold my rod tip up and it would just swim straight through it. The Lucky Craft BDS Magic 2.2. No, I've never tried any of the odd sized Lucky Crafts besides the two. Any of those ones that had the strange dot something, I never got into. Um, yeah, they were. I remember seeing them, but was that a Morgan? I think it was correct. That one. I even sign my own shit. I do that in case I lose this and somebody finds it. Um, Morgan, it's a great color. It is a great color. Now I'm just rubbing it into Nasty Nate. Nasty Nate's gonna get pissed. Oh, look what else I got. Ow. Look what else I've got. I'll be damned. I'll be damned. Very rare. Very rare. Um, I love the BDS. I love the BDS. One of my most famous BDSs is one that I painted. I wouldn't say it's famous. It's famous in my box, but it has been my biggest producer, and it's one I painted way back in the day, very early on, and it has survived. It has um, it has managed to stay in my box with all its Createx and DevCon glory. But it was a BDS3, and I painted it in this. I don't even know what you'd call it. It's like a cross between IU and Sexy Shed and uh, some sort of like Spanish fly. I don't even know what you would call it. It's not yellow, actually. Actually, it has a big glob of. I think it's got a run in it, if I remember correctly. I don't know where it is though. Must be the legit stuff. Maybe it's in here. I might get lucky and it be in here. No. I don't remember what these are, who made them. But I got them for real cheap. They run pretty decent. Where is that bait? Well, I don't know where it went. Shallow grass is all you got. John, I have a question. So I need to talk to somebody that like really runs, that fishes tidal stuff a lot. Like we have huge grass flats here, just bays that are just covered in grass. And I'm pretty sure the fish don't move out of them in the summertime. Like I know there's a fair amount of fish left in the like grass when it's like really thick. But those fish are really hard to catch. And but it bothers me. Like the smart thing to do is not try and force that bite. So Daniel, he does, but his tide swings are too big. It wouldn't like the stuff like our tides are only like a foot and a half variation. Um, so his his tidal experience is not even the same. Um, but the thing about it is, I know there's fish there, and I don't know how many. And the move is you go out to the river, or you go fish deeper, or you go fish in the creeks where there's water, and you don't have to worry about it, and you catch those fish that have moved. But I don't want to catch like those are the easy ones. You know what I mean? That's the like layup. Like to me, I want to catch those fish that didn't move, that nobody dicks with. Like that's fun. That's what's fun to me is cracking that kind of code. And I don't know if there's no code to crack. Like you just don't do it, or if you just if there's some like that's the thing. That's the kind of shit that keeps me up at night. Is there some like bait or technique that hasn't been tried yet or even invented that uh, would trigger those fish to bite, or it, or because I still feel like there's a ton of fish to be caught like that, um, but I don't know, dude. It's really weird because I feel like there's so many bites left uh, unmolested that that I don't think like there's been a technique made for them yet. Like the A rig proves that. You know what I mean? Like that was the A rig caught the fish that everybody thought was uncatchable. That everybody said when a fish would suspend, it was completely negative and neutral. Live scope has doubly proven that those fish are not completely inactive and then they can be caught. But the A rig first showed that was bullshit. Uh, so It's I don't know. I like trying. I like beating my head up against the wall and going out there and repetitively like catching nothing, trying to catch a fish that I shouldn't be fishing for. Um, Kyle, I have an idea for a popper, but I can't draw it. It's really maddening because I've tried multiple times to just even draw out the profile that's in my head, and I can't ever get it right. Um, I need to be hooked up to like the damn matrix and it just like exist. Um, are you going to the classic next year, dude? Why did they pick Grand Lake again? That's so lame. Have access to the old Lake Fork Trophy custom yellow magics. I don't know. I don't even remember those. Uh, Kyle, let us get the mag Dreamwalker down. What is it? Lake Fork Trophy custom. Only sold them in stores and to locals. No wonder I've never heard of them. I'm neither of those. Huh. Did they just have Yellow Magic do them a run? Or did they paint them themselves? Would you trust somebody that you've never met to send and seal your baits? Uh, Morgan, I can understand why you like the Grand Classics because it's right in your backyard, dude. It's probably pretty fun to see the. I've thought about that a lot. Like I would love to see the Elite Series fish on the Alabama River, like on my pool, but I wouldn't want it aired. Like I wouldn't want it to be public. Um, just because, you know what I mean. A prototype in the humpback box. Ooh. Um, I like the fishing on Grand. I just want something different. Like I feel like we've seen we've seen Grand when it's cold. We know what that's going to be like. And if it warms up, we know what it's going to be like. If it gets really cold, we know what it's going to be like. Uh, but like like what do y'all think about the Mercer and Panger debate of whether the classic should move around again? I was always a fan of the August classics. Uh, I think I like the August classics more than I like the cold classics, but uh, I do I just like that time of year. I just think that time of year is weird. Um, Kids these days just want a live scope classic. Boring. But I wouldn't mind. I really don't think I'd mind if it jumped around. Uh, I wish they'd go somewhere different though. Like my dream season, I think on Bassmasters would be uh, go to the really good lakes when it's shitty. and then go to the really bad lakes when it's really good. Like instead of going to the Sabine when it sucks, like sending them to the Sabine in June, like send them in March. But I guess the rains dick that up. But that's even more fun to me is when uh they get flood rains and nobody can run up the river because it's all up in the woods and they have to all stay in the marsh. That makes it interesting. Those, I mean, I think that's the ones that people remember. Um, but they like the slugfests. I don't like the slugfest. Yeah, March is prime time. It is prime time wherever you want to go. I wish they'd come to Mobile. That would be awesome. Everyone wants a September Mobile Delta Classic, dude. That would be so awesome. It would be miserable. It would be shitty, but you would see guys doing some weird stuff. It would be perfect if MLF was still catch 100 and win, because in the fall down here you can catch a damn million of them. They're not going to be big, but they would have to make the minimum size requirement, because they're like down here. I don't think there is a length limit for catching bass or for keeping bass. Uh, so you would have to make like a legal fish like 8 inches, which would be hilarious. Um, you'd see guys with 65 total fish caught, and their total weight be like 33 pounds. Um, Tony Christian would still catch 6 pounders on back-to-back days. Fucking loser. Mobile's like Pittsburgh. No, I don't think it's that hard to catch a fish. Pittsburgh, I feel like it was hard to catch fish. You can catch them down here. You can catch 12 inches down here, no problem. But like, there's a million fish down here. But the problem with down here is that it seems like to me, one thing I can't do down here that I can do in other places is target a bigger size of fish. It seems like the big ones and the small ones are just kind of randomly mixed in. And like once you get up the river, I think that starts to change, where you can maybe target a better quality fish. But I've never, because one reason is I could never upsize baits. Like if you started upsizing, then you would kind of get away from getting bites. And I think that the name of the game here is you just need to get bites. 8 to 10s. What was the length up there? 12. See, I mean, there's plenty of 12 inchers. Nobody'd have a problem getting a limit. But it would be nice if those 8 to 10 inchers counted, because there's also a huge pile of those. No, they can't rest the die off in the summer heat. They'll get canceled when they leave all the floaters at the boat ramp. But I don't know what it is, dude. I always feel like anytime I see a pro open their live well, it's like there's this much water in it, and like half the fish's back is sticking out of the water. Like my live wells are always like overflowing. But anytime I see a pro open their live well, there's like this much water in it. TK wants every angler pissed at Bass doing a classic on Mobile. Yeah, it would be. But the Louisiana Delta Classics were awesome. Like the one Davey Height won in New Orleans, '99, first one I ever attended. That one was the shit. Bayou Black, swimming a bacon rind, blew my mind, dude. Hot as shit. Went in there and all. They had a fish kill during the tournament. I heard that the guy who helped him find those fish, who helped Davey Height find those fish, gave him the info. Um, got a had a new boat show up at his house one day, or it was, I think Davey maybe gave him his boat from that year, like his classic boat that he had fished with that year. I want to say Davey gave him that boat as a thank you for him winning the classic. That was the rumor anyway. Um, but I'd like to know if that guy's still around. How the Louisiana Delta is fishing. He seemed to know his way around it pretty good. That's one place you could not. I don't think you could ever get away with not getting help. Just like here, like it's too much water. And the first thing you don't know is what's good and what's shitty because it all looks awesome, especially when you get up the river and there's cypress trees everywhere. Like every lake you go into has just like the most beautiful cypress trees everywhere, but it's too much water. Too much water. Like you have 100 guys that fished here, you would certainly have to. I would think that 100 of them would have gotten some sort of info. Uh, I don't know that it's even. I mean, you'd have to know something. It's the same thing with any of those big delta areas like Louisiana. Like you don't just go in 3 days of practice and like figure out 1,000,000 acres of juice. You know what I mean? It's too much water. Too much water. And there's not enough, I don't think, information out there like on the internet that you could like sort through it to tell what was what. And it changes too much. That's why it's so fun. Uh, it's it changes by the minute. Uh, but you would have to have somebody break it down for you and be like, this is what happens. Um, like when it gets high, when the river gets high, all that shit up the river is going to be trashed. But the lower end's still going to be fishable, so you can get down in the marshy stuff, get up in a creek somewhere, still find some clear water. Here's the 4 places you can go that stays clear when it's no matter how high. Um, like you don't just know that, you know what I mean? But then they have a tournament down here, and there's like 50 boats in one creek, and it's like you dickheads didn't just like wander in there. Um, Now the delta's all posted. That doesn't surprise me. Uh, Tim, I believe you're right. I believe you are right. Morgan, you know how I used to pronounce Wachita when I was a kid? Wachita. Um, Casey, is that a million fish or is that 5? AJ, hello. Would y'all like to go back to the Wachita? Bassing with Big Malone. What's up? 5 for 26. That's pretty strong. Pretty strong, gents. Uh, oh, a cheetah. Oh, a cheetah. That's a good one. Wachita. Oh, a cheetah. Maybe I'll have to stick with that one. Uh, I'm okay not going back. Well, what if you were in control? Would that make a difference? if you were on the troller. I sent Morgan and Tim a clip it from a 2003 Bassmaster at I think it was at Sam Rayburn. We were talking about spinner baits, and Kelly Jordan had a spinner bait. He said it was called the King, or he called it Elvis because it was the King. It was ugly, dude. He had one of those Lake Fork crawl trunks that had the big claws on it, and it was squared off, and he had that on the back of his spinner bait, and it had a big ass Colorado. Even worse fishing. Morgan, it's not good. Where AJ and them went. The King. You remember seeing that? See if I got it on my phone. I can play it. I can play it for you gents. There it is.
Man, this isn't the real. This is actually an impersonator. I only had one of my real ones, and after I caught that 714 yesterday, the arm of it got stretched out in the net pretty bad. I was bending it back and it broke, so I made up one just like it. The name of the spinner bait is Elvis. And we call it Elvis because it's the King.
Dude, Jason, I don't know what that blade was, but it was ugly as shit, dude. I don't know what he was throwing. It was big. I would like to see a close-up of it because it looked like the skirt was black, but it also looked like it was like it had some green pumpkin in it or something, and had a lot of chartreuse. Had a damn pie plate Colorado in there. Dakota's in the mud. I like the sound of that. Focus. There it goes. Hell, that chunk was bad, dude. Real bad. My buddy used to pitch one of those, and every time he'd hold up his jig, and I saw that dumbass looking chunk on, and I was like, ugh. He caught it. I mean, it caught him, but it was the good thing about it is it was bulky. Like it'd beef up a jig. Like you could put it on a damn bitsy bug, and that thing would look like a damn mop jig flopping around through a tree. But above the Hot Springs lakes is kind of fun creek fishing. Interesting. If there are any lefty Cronarch fans, Midway has some for $2.16. Tim, I'll tell you a spinnerbait that I used to catch a lot of fish on. And I know I've talked about Mean Gene a lot, but my neighbor up there at the river house, Mean Gene Watley, used to build. He was famous for his spinnerbaits, and he when I was a kid, I would go up there and bug the shit out of him and just pick colors because he had every skirt imaginable, and he would pour his own heads and he would paint his own heads, and I would just go up there and just dream up stuff to for him to make me. And I wouldn't want many. I just want like one or two, and like when I'd have an idea. And one day I was catching them on a sour grape Zoom lizard, and I thought this color would look badass on a jig and a spinnerbait. So I went over to Gene's house and I said, Gene, I need a sour grape spinnerbait. He's like, what is that? And I showed him the worm, and he's like, all right. So we went down to the Mean Gene lab and started sorting through skirts and found a Found a purple one and found this bright green one, and put some copper blades on it. Dude, I went out and wrecked their ass on that damn ugly, ugly ass spinnerbait. And but the shit only lasted for like that weekend. You know what I mean? Like we went and made this dumb shit up, and then I went out and threw it and like really caught them good on it. But like I didn't. There was no rhyme or reason to it besides that I was catching them on the lizard color. So like nothing ever went off in my mind. Like this is when you should pull out the sour grape spinnerbait. So it just went back in my box, and I like it just sat there forever till the skirt man rotted off. But I don't know that the I probably threw it a little bit more because at that time I was always trying like experimental stuff. That was basically all I fished was experimental stuff. Um, but one spinnerbait we used to throw a ton that nobody ever throws that I never see anybody throw is like a crawfish colored spinnerbait. And Gene was like real adamant about uh, he either threw a chartreuse and white, and if they didn't bite chartreuse and white, he would try a crawfish color like early in the year. And dude, we would wreck their ass on a damn brown and orange spinnerbait with copper blades on it, and a yellow twin tail, like school bus yellow. And I've never in my life seen somebody with like any amount of reputation pull out like a crawfish colored spinnerbait and be like, "This is the juice." Um, but we caught a shit ton of fish on brown and orange with copper blades. Um, Especially this time of year. But shit, that was 20 years ago, dude. Um, Pops Hellabass Senior likes the sour grape ring fry. That sounds very South Texas-ish. Uh, Copper blades are underutilized. Great blade. A lot of guys say that you use them uh, around brim. Who knows? Uh, I don't know. That's the other thing. I don't. I think I've never been. Oh, he throws it up north. Hell, when's he come up there? What's he doing up there? Why does he want to leave the warm promised land? If he's a Texan now, he is one with the centipede ring fry. Tomato, chartreuse pepper, red bug, ringworm. Chartreuse pepper used to be the shit, dude. Those days are gone though, Casey. Unfortunately, I feel like, but people still ask for that. Like, what's the hot color? What's the hot color? What's the hot color right now? Is there any hot colors? And I think there's just like so much that people have, like nothing. Not, you know what I mean? Like when there's when you have people ordering online, people aren't all shopping at like the local hardware store and buying all shit from the same shelf. Uh, like back when I was growing up, there was like two or three stores that you could go in, and that's pretty much what you bought. And like even then, Bass Pro Shops had a little bit of stuff, but nothing like too out of the ordinary. You could find some rarer stuff locally, and like a color would get hot somewhere, uh, or it would get hot locally or whatever. And you know, guys would go into the store and be like, "Oh, this color's hot. They're really eating it right now." But I haven't heard anybody talk like that in 10 years or longer. What's the hot color? There's not one. People have fucking everything. You know what I mean? Like they literally keep everything in their boat. Like there's nothing. Uh, People just don't throw it. But every guy on Lake Fork has them tied on. Yeah, yeah. The ringworm, the French fry, they're not they're not they're not sexy. They're not. You know, you don't want to. You don't get to the boat ramp and put your boat on the trailer and throw your chest out and walk around and be like, "Yeah, I caught him on a fucking French fry today, dude. What'd you do?" But it catches them. It catches them. I have a really bad habit. The last few times I've been fishing, and it's. I think if you do this, you put these thoughts in the back of your brain, and then your brain kind of quits giving them to you. And I need to listen to them more. But the last couple of times I've been fishing, I've thought to myself, I bet you could catch their ass on a Carolina rig right now, and I don't tie it on. And I think by not doing that, the universe takes those ideas away from you, and then you just get caught in a toilet bowl flushing. Um, Whenever I decide to catch them on a French fry, I suddenly wake up from that nightmare. Chomper centipede. I honestly don't. It would be easier for me to find a pack of Riverside air fries than it would be for me to find a pack of zoomed centipedes right now. The only known pack of centipedes I have is a Walmart brand one. I forget what they were. See, Nate, I don't understand the patience with the C rig because I don't think to me a C rig is not a patience thing. Like I feel like I can move it along pretty fast and I don't have to like worry about it. Um, Sixth Sense makes a centipede style bait. Not surprising. They gotta appeal to the Texans. If you can make the Texans happy, you could survive probably just selling Texans baits. Anti C rig. I'm a Morgan. It's hard to beat a lizard on a C rig. A lizard's just kind of a lizard just gets bit though. It's not sexy at all either. Like I feel like such a damn geezer, like dipshit, like casting a Carolina rigged lizard. But you know that son of a bitch is gonna get pecked. It does look stupid, and it's just such like a pawpaw thing to do. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a complete worthless. Like I just feel shame. I feel like I couldn't figure out like a real bite, so I have to like stoop to throw in this like juvenile, like just like give up technique. Uh, and like I said, I think that's what it is. I just feel shamed when I look at my rod and I'm like, look at you, look at what you've become. You're nothing. You're just sitting here desperately grasping at straws, trying to get an 8-inch bass to bite your bait. You're pathetic. That's what goes on in my head. Speaking of giving up, uh, I want to like a wobblehead, but I'll lose a lot of fish on it. I haven't thrown one enough to lose fish on it. The only thing that I can honestly say that I have zero confidence in hooking a fish with that gets an insane amount of bites that I wish I could catch fish on is a damn whatever those things Aaron Martins used to fish was the shaky fish or whatever the jig head with the big cone on the top. Uh, I had the worst hookup ratio with those things. Uh, and I could never like I would get an insane amount of bites on it, but I could never hook anything. Um, and I never like I would just throw it on the same rig or the same like setup and scrounger. That's the word I was looking for. The scrounger. Yeah, I could never make that thing work for me because of the bite too. And it's not like I was losing them. I wouldn't even hook them. Like I would just get thumped, thump, and you'd like ease into them, and I'd try to like just keep reeling. That was the best thing that I found that I could actually. Um, the best way for me to hook them was to, like if you felt a bite, just keep reeling it, and you would like maybe hook one. But for the most part, I'd feel a bite and set the hook and swing, and it was always a miss. Like it was an oddity for me. And I typically don't have like issues with baits like hookups, but that one was a weird one for me. Um, Anthony, have fun. I'm about to go to the UPS store, and it's 85 outside today. We set a record high 80s. On a tube on a wobblehead. That's interesting. Fish wobbleheads a lot. It seems like common sense. We use thinner plastics and expose the hook. Um, I have seen firsthand in my boat where a wobblehead with the same worm outfished a Texas rig. Couldn't explain it, but me and this dude were fishing out in Texas, and he would throw his wobblehead in there, and I'd throw, and it wasn't like a specific thing. We were just throwing on like a big rocky flat, and he would throw his wobblehead up there, and I would throw my worm out there, and it wouldn't touch my worm. Same worm, but his was just on a wobblehead, and he was smashing them. 1/8 ounce scrounger head was my go-to wading bait. Teeny brush hog. Zoom Z crawl on a wobblehead. I can see that. Um, I got some new worms from old Prodigy. Y'all want to see them? Less movement in the worm on the wobblehead. We were both throwing old monsters. But it was doing something different. I don't know what it was. Like I would think the tail would have been enough, but old Prodigy came through. You've probably seen this dude. He's been running some ads. This is his new little crawl. I like its cylindrical profile. And I also like because it's very narrow here, which I like. I don't like stuff that like gets bulbous out at the end. It's nice and compact. And I also like it because I can double it as a trailer, chatterbait trailer, swim jig trailer. I can put it on a jig and pitch it. I can pitch it by itself. I like multi-use baits, and this is to me a perfect multi-use bait. But the color is beautiful too. Oh, AJ, I found something for you. Next time I send you something, I'll send these. Oh, what is this? He sent me the prototype worm. I don't like this. Just a worm. A ribbed worm. But it's triangular. Like the top is kind of flat, but the belly has a point on it. I don't like. Maybe. We'll see. It should glide. We'll see what that does. Here's a blue one. So I'm ready to go out and use those. Prodigy, correct. Dude named Austin over there in East Texas designed those baits. Had molds cut, so they're 100% his original designs. It's not some like bullshit generic mold that anybody can buy. Like he designed them, had his mold CNC'd, and he pours them himself. So it is actual, you know, legit designs. Good baits. Shout out to Austin, prodigylureco.com. I think he has these on his website you can order. Tell him I sent you. And then tell him to eat a dick. Because I have his crankbaits. Somebody needs to make a 5 and a 6.5 inch cut tail. Yamamoto started the 5 inch again, but it's not at any tackle dealer. Travis, I'm surprised there's not some generic cut tail worm mold out there. Does it need to be Yamamoto flavor? Like, does it need to be their formulation, or do you care? Wheeler Fishing started a live video. Fun. Wouldn't matter. I like the way salt feels in the bait. I like how it falls. I think it's because I'm so used to like Zoom plastics, how they fall. When I get something without plastic in it, I mean without salt in it, it just feels weird. I would prefer all my, like, I think he said these are not salted, but these are. So if you're picky about your salt, you might have to ask him. I was looking for some 3-inch slim Senkos a while to wacky rig on the back of a finesse jig. Why not a Magnum finesse worm? Is that too big? It's fat. Or is it too fat? That would be, I think those are 4 inches. That might be too Magnum. Too big. I don't know anything that small. I don't know what. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. Bloodthirsty, crazier than ever. New site visitor. Well, what I've talked about doing with Austin, this gentleman, is we were going to do a little collaborative, and I was going to get him to do a color for me, and then we were going to match it. I was going to match it to a crankbait, and then do a combo worm crankbait combination, matchy. But I haven't come up with a combo yet. Bass Pro has a 3-inch skinny Cinco. Figured they would. All right, I've been on here 1 hour and 12 minutes. I'm trying to limit myself these days. But I have to go to the post office and see the UPS man. See if they can get this package to Texas by tomorrow. Anyway, you gentlemen have a nice night, evening, day, and I will check in with you later. That hour did fly by. I had fun talking today about worms. I think before I go, I think I was thinking about doing a Patreon members only event. Just me, and show all my weird soft plastics that I don't show or don't talk about, because I've got them and they never get talked about. As much as I like to throw hard baits, I have an arsenal of soft baits that doesn't get shown. But and for the most part, they're odd. They're some of them, but some have similarities and some are just different. But I was thinking about doing a truth behind the soft plastic box. It'd be good. The problem I have with doing any of those type of things is that a lot of this shit's hard to get anyway. So if I'm like browsing on eBay, can't find them. If they do pop up, I know Bob's gonna have them in damn 2 seconds from when they're listed. He's gonna snipe my ass on eBay, and then I won't even then I can't even get my own worms that I had secreted. So that's the case for damn anything, dude. Like, you tell somebody, like, if you've got some like if you got some like weird paint brand you like, and you tell somebody the paint brand, and then they're like, oh, the next thing you know, they get on the Brotherhood and say, look at this paint I found, it's awesome. And then there's 50 other guys going, oh, let me go try that. And then you go try and buy it, and it's like, oh, it's sold out. So fucking of course it is. Travis, I got about 4 right now. Some things are too exclusive to mention. Yeah. You want a Bagley? I thought about doing a Bagley show where I just like pull out every Bagley combination, and where I can actually like sit down and show it in real time and show the differences. A Bagley show would be fun. And there's lots of variations even in different generations of Bagleys. And I have that. I'll tell you this. on the Bagley rundown, I will do a reveal of a bait, and they made this bait in a lot of different colors, but there's only certain colors that have the right profile. So if you order this bait, or you see like on eBay, whatever, if you get it in like chartreuse and blue, it's not going to have the right size body. But if you get it in like yellow crawl, it's the right size body. It's like the machine carved the right size body for this, like for when they were painting X amount of colors. And then when they moved to this other body that's supposedly the same thing, it went through this other set of colors. So I've bought, it's all the same bait, but I've bought all these different colors every time I find one. And there's only certain colors that match up to the bait that I was trying to match. But I've got a bunch of baits I bought expecting to get something that it's not, and it's not right. A lot slimmer, just the whole bait's like smaller. It's weird. But anyway, all right. I don't want to talk about that one either, but I will. That one's not. Those are so hard to find that I don't think it would be that big of a deal. And I've got enough. So I think I've got enough. All right. Y'all be good. I'm going to the post office. We'll see y'all later.